yesterday. Mayuresh Joshi of MarketSmith India is now joining in. Mayuresh, lots of Q1 updates to chew on. Which one stood out for you?
Morning, Ripa. So I think the last 2 days, I think the banking pack has delivered a very strong update across, including the NBFC. And therefore, I think where a large part of the market expectation was that it might be very, very sluggish, I think the kind of growth dynamics that are probably seeping through for the system as a whole makes it very, very encouraging. The other one yesterday, again, I think Titan, very strong update in my opinion. The unorganized jewelry players and the large leadership stocks should, as we have always believed in our thesis, should continue doing well over the next few quarters. And therefore, I think banking and a few of these consumption-driven stocks, including FMCG, I think both Marico and Dabur, in fact, the updates that have probably given were far better than what probably one assumed and presumed. Therefore, I think these pockets surprisingly have held up as far as Q1 updates.
Mayuresh, for something like a Trent, think some pressure today?
Morning, Prashant, possibly. And again, I think the entire perspective in terms of the dynamics of levers that you've probably put out over the next couple of months, probably in line with what the market probably believes and expects. The expansion that they're probably doing in terms of the studio stores, the West Side expansion as well, I think on track. And therefore, I think the market probably believes that Trent should probably outperform not just its guidance, but what the industry probably does by a long, long way. So to that extent, yes, a little bit disappointing, but let's see how it probably goes over the next few months.
Interesting one. Mayuresh, I wanted your thoughts on the defense space because yesterday all these stocks were abuzz and, the Defense Acquisition Council approving acceptance of necessity for worth about 52,000 crore worth products. And then this morning, Apollo Microsystems is actually approving a fundraise worth 3,300 crore rupees. You've got decent updates coming in from Zentek as well, the largest drone propulsion maker in India when it comes to capacity. So do you think defense play has more to go from here on? And is there any particular pick that you like here?
Morning, Mangala. So I think structurally it still remains to be a very strong story, right? The order books remain extremely strong and robust, giving the revenue visibility for most defense companies, whether they're shipbuilders or core defense contractors and suppliers. The margins are pretty decent as well. And in a defense company, I think you will obviously find a quarter in an annualized year where I think there is some element of an execution miss or some issues that probably come through for various reasons for that. In that perspective. And therefore, I think from a structural perspective, I think they're very well placed. Let's not forget, Mangalam, kind of export opportunities that are also blowing up for a whole host of these players, where I think the margins are even better compared to what they probably deliver on the domestic front. And therefore, as a space, structurally, the story probably persists. I think a couple of stocks. One, I think solar industries is something that we continue holding in our swing portfolio. Our sense is that the consistency in numbers should probably continue. Albeit a miss in a quarter or two is probably expected. And Bharat Electronics is something that we continue owning in our total portfolio. So our own sense is that these strong leadership stocks might actually continue their earnings trajectory on a very stable and on a stable state basis over the next.
In defense, it's almost as if many of these early investors, right, and I know a few institutional investors who kind of said, well, this is too much, this is too excessive, most of the ordering has happened. And now it is about execution, but prices. And this is, by the way, even before the latest round of run-up that we've had, but decisively. So it's interesting what's going on. Mayuresh, any thoughts on Blue Jet? I don't know if you tracked this one. So they're basically two segments, market leader in one, which is dyes for your, CT scans, etc. And they've got a chemicals business as well. They've got a QIP out today. Pretty good response, I'm told, but I don't know if you have a view.
So I had looked at that 2 quarters back, but not really tracking it right now.
Okay, it's a small name in that sense. Fair enough. Got that. The other one, which is a bit of a sort of, it's a stock which did very well and then of course corrected quite sharply, is the solar pump story, right? And Shakti Pumps is the leader there. Has back, 500, 600 or so. High was 1,000 plus. But again, ordering seems to happen. I think there was something over the weekend as well. Do you have any ownership in any of these names? Because we have a few listed names now.
So I think we don't own that. And honestly, Prashant, I think the ordering will continue. There are very few players within this entire solar pump ecosystem. The government tendering and ordering happens. They do receive a decent chunk that probably comes through. But again, I think we've really not understood the kind of dynamics that probably go through. Working capital cycles, in my opinion, still remain very, very elongated for most players within the spaces as well. And again, I think the receivable positions, one really needs to track that because a large bulk of these orders are government-linked orders. The second aspect again is that the capacity.
ಪ್ರತಿ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಒಂದು ಪಂದ್ಯ ಶುರುವಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಇಂಡಿಯಾ
in a far more consistent manner probably does not come through. And therefore, there is far more earnings inconsistency in a large part of these stocks, whether it's Shakti pumps, roto pumps, as we see.
Come in, and we're in conversation with Mayuresh Joshi. Mayuresh, one stock that you'd like to highlight for today's trade from an investment point of view?
So, Deepa, I think one of the recent additions that we have done is Usha Martin. Our own sense is that the revenue growth has been steady state, mid-single digits, but the margin expansion has been quite significant on a year-on-year basis. 19.1% in FY26 compared to 17.8%. So I think there is significant margin expansion happening. The second element in terms of wire rope, which remains the biggest business segment, and wire
volumes have also increased quite significantly. Seems to be on a steady state basis, and the volume should increase quite significantly. They managed to navigate the input cost volatility, and therefore, I think on an EBITDA per ton, they exited FY26 with 34,100 rupees, which should be consistently maintained if we don't see volatility in prices. And again, from a balance sheet perspective, they were in a net debt position in FY25 at 65 crores, turned into a net cash of 332 crores, with leverage playing in. The ROEs are at 17%, which means our benchmark at MarketSmith India, and ROEs at 20%. The end user industry is surprisingly, I think it's engineering, oil and gas, grains, construction. I think that is where all the business elements will come through. Europe is 26%, Middle East 9%, America is 9%. I think significant accretions to order flows with better margin orders might start flowing in the next few quarters. I think Usha Martin is something that we've recently added.
We'll leave the conversation here. Mayuresh, thank you very much for joining in.